Hello, gorgeous Scorpio, and welcome to October 2020. And as we know, October always heralds in the Scorpio season. The 22nd of the month, we head straight into one of the most magical times of year, right? But I think October tends to be kind of an intense time for Scorpios in certain ways. And like, you may be really enjoying this energy. I know I am, as we get to a really deep spiritual part of the year. This is always fun energy, deep energy to work with, and this October is absolutely no exception. And there's some important messages that have come through regarding Scorpio for the month of October that I'll be sharing with you today. And the main one is this: setting healthy boundaries, both practically, right? But even more importantly, I think energetically. And that can go in the form of maybe feeling guilt or shame or worry over something that's happened in the past, or a conversation, or how you're giving of yourself. It can also be about how you're setting your healthy energetic boundaries and finding ways to disconnect even from energies that maybe aren't yours to carry at this time. There's a lot of noise in the energy waves of October, is kind of the way I would put it. And it's important to be able to not take all of that on, right? So setting healthy energetic boundaries is really important. As we move through Libra season, the sun moving through the sign right before yours is always a really important time to check in, right? 12th house energy is about the secret, the hidden, the ascended spiritual self. It's about the self that's not so much here on the ground moving through the world, but the self that is kind of busy out there, right? Connecting to other energies, floating around. And in many ways, Scorpio, I just want to look out for you, because it's important that you are taking care of yourself. If you are already, you have Scorpio energy, clearly if you're watching this, you are connected to Scorpio energy somehow. You're already sensitive, you're already open to some extent. You're already able to tap into things. And then you're working with 12th house energy, it amplifies it that much more. And then of course we head into Scorpio season, continues that very open, very connected to all energies. Things are open and flowing in between each other. And so the message that came through the most strongly is it's okay for you to set healthy energetic boundaries. It's okay for you to find ways to maybe not always feel everything all the time. And I'm not suggesting you shut down your emotions or you numb yourself out necessarily, but not every energy and not every scenario is going to require that you go through, heavy emotional lifting or heavy energetic lifting, right? Sometimes, and I know you know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about energetic waves coming through from the collective or from people you know. Things that you're experiencing or working on that aren't necessarily yours to carry, right? And it's great to be empathetic. It's great to care for others. It's great to be able to put yourself in other people's shoes. I think that's such a beautiful gift. However, it's also okay to take times where you're not constantly putting yourself in other people's shoes, where you're not picking up everybody else's energy. It's okay to take time to rest, to recharge, to take a step back from the collective work, to take moments where you're really looking out for yourself. Okay, 2 cards wanted to come out. Page of Swords, 6 of Pentacles. Oh yeah, baby, I'm loving this. So let's go through some of the things going on this month. This is a mysterious, mystical month in many ways. We're in the middle of Mars retrograde all of October. We also start our Mercury retrograde, which starts off in your sign and then moves back into Libra. Mercury retrogrades, when they're in your own sign, it's just a time to review. It's just a time for kind of checking back in with yourself, coming home to yourself a little bit, right? It's not so much about the external. So this month is taking away the linear approach to problem solving, right? Which for Scorpios, I just don't worry about it too much, because you're already kind of looking through the complexity of the process and the you're never looking for just the straight and narrow path. So this is kind of logic that I think you can roll with, but October just is not about linear time. Between Mars and Mercury retrograde, this is a time for us to kind of fall back into some more mystic teachings. King of Wands, wow. Sovereignty is really important here. I'm seeing integrity to self and sovereignty to self is a big theme coming up, Scorpio. So we have that going on. We also have 2 full moons, one in Aries on the 1st of the month, so in your 6th house. You know, how you're connecting to your body, your routines, your service, just really taking a moment to look at that. And then another one on October 31st in your 7th house in Taurus and Ace of Pentacles. Ooh, Scorpio, I'm loving the energy you have for this month. It's really quite supportive of you. Quite grounding and clear and crisp, and I like this for you. So the full moons are going to be really helpful in just getting you kind of rebalanced, checking in with your physical, checking in with your relationships. There's also a new moon in Libra in your 12th house that is happening on October 16th. And that is going to be a check-in about your spiritual growth as well. So it's kind of like a hygiene check for your internal growth, your relationship growth. Like the moon is going to be kind of guiding you along with that. And then both the Mars and Mercury retrogrades give you a chance to check in with yourself and where you feel authentic, where maybe you feel you want to reset a little bit, maybe where you want to draw some new healthy boundaries, some new healthy ways of connecting and feeling that you're really on your own team. And these are all big themes to keep in mind. I think especially this month and especially this year, and as we're getting into these last months of Saturn in Capricorn and Jupiter in Capricorn, and I didn't even mention this, that both Saturn and Pluto are going direct in Capricorn during this month. So we have some really supportive energy here for you guys. Page of Swords, to me, you know, this is a really blunt energy. It sometimes acts and speaks before thinking, right? It's kind of like loose cannon, just words coming out. Just try it, go for it. You know, Page of Swords is not about necessarily always tact. However, Page of Swords is also really good at just getting down to it and being really clear. And whenever one of the one of the royalty cards comes up for swords, I always think, oh, this is a time where it's okay to vocally express those boundaries. And it's interesting because, yes, you could be dealing with a personality or a situation where you feel you need to set some new boundaries and just renegotiate how you're spending your time. If it's a friendship or a family thing or even a relationship where you kind of just need to be clear on what it is you need, what it is you want, where it is you have energy or where it is you don't. This is also just, I think, you can be doing this in your own personal process too, where you can say out loud, I no longer want to engage with this type of heavy or dark energy, whatever it is, right? So Page of Swords, I think, kind of clears the decks. It's a breath of fresh air that says, this is what I really mean. This is what I really mean when I say what I say, and not just what I think people need to hear, not just me doing it anyway because I think I'm supposed to. This is really honest energy, and it's about integrity. And, you know, coming back to Mars retrograde and the fact that we're in the middle of that, Mars retrograde is about authenticity and integrity and wholeness to self, right? And not spreading ourselves thin and disassembling ourselves and putting ourselves out for seed, for harvest, for others all the time, but coming back to our integrity. And that's the same message comes through with Six of Pentacles, because, and once again, I think with the way that the energy is moving for you this month, with the moons and moving through the 12th house and into your first house, into birthday season, into a time of just check-in, rebirth, renegotiation, new beginnings, resets. It's interesting because this is not about burning everything down this year, right? For Scorpios in the beginning of Scorpio season. Some years it's like, let's like just totally transform. Let's go through the deep dark waters and come out new. This month, it's like about a really deep, earthy check-in with yourself. And Six of Pentacles is always, where are you giving, overgiving? Where are you overtaking, right? And where do you want to find better balance with these things? And this can have to do with, how you want to give back to the world. This can have to do with your personal relationships as well. But the point here is a sense of integrity. And the thing that I think about with these cards coming out and the way that the messages were already coming in for Scorpio is like, it's okay to choose not to engage with certain things. It's okay to say, I'm just going to focus on these two things this right now. I can't take on that extra project. I can't take on that extra role right now. It's okay for you to kind of really curate where it is you're putting your energy. It's important, it's essential, and actually what that does is it opens up the gate for a lot more opportunity and possibility. King of Wands and Ace of Pentacles. These cards are so much about open roads ahead, right? And feeling like you have that spaciousness, that space to breathe into your life where you don't feel like you are getting like weighed down by things you feel you have to worry about, by situations or thoughts or collective energies that you feel you have to carry on your own. If you allow yourself to clear out some of those cobwebs, clear out some of that space, right? And really be authentic with your yeses and nos, and allow yourself some time to be with yourself, to take really good care of your spiritual hygiene, to take really good care of your yeses and nos, you have some really big breakthroughs coming through this month. King of Wands, yes, it can represent a connection. It can represent a person coming into your life that has this kind of fiery, dynamic, powerful, empowered energy, coworker or even lover. This is also about you activating a part of yourself that is visionary, that is strong, that is okay with being who they are when and how they are right now. And it's really tied to this Ace of Pentacles, new beginnings, new opportunities, new ways of doing your work in the world, new ways of connecting, a richness, a solid richness in your life. But it really does require this taking this time, I think, especially all the way through Libra season. So until the sun moves into Scorpio and we're starting to flow with your energy a little bit more, you're going to want to be doing some of that work. And I think sometimes, especially for women culturally, we get told that, if we set healthy boundaries, and it's not just women, but for those of us who deal with worry and wanting to help and wanting to heal and wanting to take on responsibility all the time, there's this message, and it's not totally accurate, that says if you set healthy boundaries and you take step backs and you're very clear with what you can take on, and you're very clear with where you want to rest in, that less opportunity is going to come in, that there's going to be scarcity, that you're going to be kind of left to hang out to dry. And what really happens is that we are more fully engaged. When we are really clear with where we are happy about giving our energy and happy about connecting in and happy about, we are coming back to an integrity in ourselves that actually amplifies our power in the world to do beautiful things, to connect more deeply and fully. And it's really important to do that. And I see this huge breakthrough with you. Once again, all four of these cards are so supportive of you. So supportive of being really clear, being confident, and also grounding in and finding some resonance within yourself, and that being a real stepping stone to you moving forward. And I think there could be some really big, fun breakthroughs where if you've been having things that have felt a little bit like, what's going to happen with this? Just like a hanging question that's been looming over you, or questions. This month, I'm feeling kind of like you're going to see some new ways forward, some new paths moving you forward. So I'm really excited to see that happening. I have a few affirmations for this beautiful month and the beginning of Scorpio season, so here we go. I am allowed to rest and listen in deep. I know my value and set healthy, energetic boundaries. I take care of myself with kindness and grace. And really, that is the message. It's okay to take care of yourself, and really deep, profound care of yourself, to release the guilt or the shame around needing to rest sometimes, needing to take care of that Scorpio energy, and know that you don't always have to be open to every energy current moving through, and that it's really good for you to have moments of grace and rest. You can find me over on Patreon, where we are doing a lot more deep discussions around Mars, around Saturn direct, around all the energies we're going to be working with in October, including Mercury retrograde. So if you're looking for extra support, I would absolutely love to see you over on Patreon. It's a great little community full of beautiful people, and we have great conversations over there. You can also find me on Instagram or on my website. That's all Sarah Verba, so you can find me. I will leave all the links below. And of course, I'm wearing PinkLune's gorgeous jewelry, and she always has something beautiful and new to check out, so I highly recommend going to her Etsy shop as well. I will see all you beautiful Scorpio souls in the next monthly when we continue the magic of Scorpio season. I love the energy of November. I will talk to you so soon. Have a beautiful October.